Great. So that's it. We finished the first section. Let's move on to section number 2. So, part 2, irregular verbs. Let's look at some examples. Again, repeat after me. And if you do not understand a word, pause and look up the word in a dictionary. Number 1. She was ill last week. Poor thing. 2. Mr. Jones taught his son to drive. 3. The two sisters bought many clothes in the January sales. 4. We saw that film with Kate Winslet on Wednesday. So what irregular past simple verbs can you see? Number 1. Was. Okay, we saw this earlier. Number 2. Taught. Number 3. Bought. Number 4. Saw. So my question to you is, do you know the infinitive forms of these past simple verbs? Was comes from to be, is. Taught comes from teach. Bought comes from buy. Saw comes from see. So here is an important note on the spelling. We have lots of GHs in the past. In the past simple, GH is silent. So we have not dogged or tocht or anything like that. In the history of the English language, these letters corresponded to something like ch, tocht, something like that. But that's many centuries ago. Today the words you see there are pronounced taught, bought. You can repeat them with me. Taught, bought, brought, caught, fought. This vowel sound, or, is quite difficult for some people. So spend some time mastering the pronunciation. Let's look at some more examples. What past simple verbs can you see in these sentences? 1. Jim went to the park. 2. He took a book with him. 3. He sat down. 4. He read the book. In sentence number 1, we have went. In number 2, we have took. Number 3, we have sat. Number 4, we have read. So my question is, do you know the infinitive forms of these past simple verbs? The infinitive of went is to go. Took is take. Sat is sit. Read is, my mistake. Read is read. Okay, so something strange is going on with number 4. Let us note that the past of read is red, pronounced red like the color red. It follows the pattern of lead, whose past is led. However, for reasons I am not sure about, spelling, the writing of the word read and read are identical. It's possibly because people did not want to confuse the words red, the past of read, with red, the color. Let's look at some more examples. Repeat. 1. Henry ate a big chocolate cake. 2. He felt sick. 3. He began to walk around the town. 4. He lost his way. What past simple verbs can you see? Number 1. Ate. Okay. Number 2. We have a note here that sick is the same as ill in this context. Felt. Number 3. Began. Number 4. Lost. Again, what are the infinitive forms of these past simple verbs? The infinitive of ate is to eat. Felt. Feel. Began. Begin. Lost. Lose. Okay. Let's look at even more examples, because there are many irregular verbs, so we have to learn them cumulatively. Number 1. The astronaut brought a photo of his wife onto the spaceship. Number 2. The general said that the nation's army was not ready for combat. Number 3. His wallet fell out of his car when he opened the window. Number 4. The nurse put the thermometer into her pocket. What past simple verbs can you see? Number 1. Brought. And in sentence number 2, we have said. Is that all? No. Was. Number 3. Fell. Any more? Opened? No. Opened is past simple, but it is not an irregular verb, it is a regular verb. Number 4. Put. What are the present forms from which the past forms we see come from? Number 1. Brought comes from bring. Said from say. Fell from fall. Put from put. Yes, that's right. Put is identical in the past and the present. There are a few verbs like that. Put, cut, hit, etc. Let us look at one more example. They did the washing up after dinner. What past simple verb can you see? That's right, it is did. What is the present of did? It is do. Now this is very important. So, why is it so important? Because did is an auxiliary verb in the past simple, just as do is an auxiliary verb in the present simple. This can give rise to some confusion, but we will see more on this in the next section. Time for a quick test. Are you ready? Now, at this point you should pause the video and be sure to answer all the questions. If you have done that, we will go ahead. So, number 1, my father sat on the chair and ate a kebab. Number 2, Jane took the wrong train and lost her suitcase in Barcelona. 3. We went to the pub last night. They read the newspaper. Sam brought his pet snake to school. Number 5. The maths teacher also taught history when she was younger. Number 6. Stephen fell sick on Monday. He said that he took a new medicine and it began to work immediately. Okay, good. Again, if you got all of those correct, great. If you didn't, go back and do them again. My advice is to leave a break. Try to remember, come back an hour later, a few hours later, the next day. It takes time for many irregular forms to become fixed in the memory. So you need to give your memory time to work.